This is Other Maria, the podcast of our real-life conversations about personal evolution, society, relationships, spirituality, and everything else. We're getting vulnerable in these good faith talks and sometimes respectfully disagreeing about which of us is wrong. Just kidding, there's no right and wrong. We're just two friends sitting around talking shit. Wait, talking about deep shit, right? That's what we're doing? Yeah, enjoy. Hey guys.
Hi guys.
This is episode 1 for real.
Episode 1 for real. Here we are. I'm Maria.
And I'm the other Maria.
And this is our podcast, Other Maria.
Yeah, and this has been baking for a while.
It sure has. It sure has. So we decided we wanted to dedicate this first episode to kind of just talking to you guys about our process the last year of getting this started and just like introducing ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, and like thank you for just the people that have known this was coming and like keep asking with enthusiasm about it, because like we're good for it, but like this was a fucking journey.
Such a journey. And, like, we're finally so excited to, like, actually release something. So, this is really fun. Yay.
This is our baby.
This is our baby. So, yeah, I think what I was thinking about just now was, like...
I should not crack my knuckles in the middle of this.
But, yeah, let's talk a little bit about, I want to let you guys know, like, why did we decide to start the podcast and kind of what we're... here to talk about and like how it came about. How did it come about?
Great question. You and I are both really wise geniuses, and I'm just kidding. You and I
we're like, how do we use this wise geniusness? No.
You and I take our personal growth very seriously, while at the same time trying not to take ourselves too seriously.
True.
We've had some really interesting experiences in the past couple of years, and
as have we all.
As have we all. But yeah, we just kept having really great conversations about stuff that we were seeing and things that we wanted to have bigger conversations about, but it was like there were too many people splattered all over the place, or it was just like it felt safe to have these conversations with each other in real time, but then it felt like really good information for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it all started like with pandemic conversations,
right?
And then we realized that it kind of applied to a lot of stuff we talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
And to give background, Maria and I have been friends since we were 5. And we went to K through 12 together. So we spent a lot of time at school together.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow our friendship has persisted. And so, like, I also know that part of the podcast came from how much voice noting we were doing during the pandemic.
Oh my God, yeah.
We like discovered voice notes, and I mean, it was just all day, every day during the whole entire pandemic.
Right, because shit was crazy, and also we were very quickly in a similar situation where the world was shut down and we both didn't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of decided like not to run around and try to get a job immediately.
Right.
In like the limited, or what seemed to be like a newly limited world.
Right.
We kind of just like leaned back and watched shit happen.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like with intention though. Like we weren't just like fucking around necessarily. I mean there was a fair amount of fucking around, which was worthwhile, but I think we were also just like super present and just like, what is going on?
Right.
And just voice noted all day, every day.
Yeah. And then one day we were just like, we should do a podcast and just share our conversations with people without any expectations, but just with the intention of sharing.
Right, because so often, like, for as well as we knew each other, we were still and having a similar, like, generalized experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would have interactions with people in your life, and I would have interactions with people in my life, and different things would come out of them, and we'd share them, and I feel like it was just helping us both level up so much to be, like, having that experience together.
Right.
And then a lot of, particularly during the pandemic, a lot of what we were talking about, we were only talking about with each other because we couldn't have some of those conversations with a lot of other people in our lives.
That's right.
But we knew that we weren't the only ones.
Right.
And it was like, well, how do we reach out to
our community, our
right,
hidden community
our
we don't
hidden,
even
our
know about
community.
Yet that we still haven't even found, you know, they're
Right.
there, but no, we've found them some, but anyway, yeah. And also to give our other friends credit, we have a few other really great friends as well that were partaking in really good dialogue and conversation and discussion, but all of us were having, like, you and I had more crossover of experiences, I guess, but there was also people in our lives who were just as open to, like, vulnerable, open dialogue. And so it was like a lot of that as well. It was just like, you know, we also want this podcast to be a place where we're going to eventually have guests, and those guests will largely in the beginning be our friends and be people who are open to good faith dialogue, which we felt like was missing a lot during the pandemic at the height of, like, everyone's most fearful. We just felt, I know I felt, and I think you felt, stifled. I know I talked about that a lot.
Totally.
Was that just felt so stifled and muzzled.
Yeah.
Was the way I felt a lot. And so it was like, how can we get this energy out?
Right. And the podcast was born.
The podcast was born. So,
well, the idea for the podcast was born.
Yeah.
Because right now it is end of April 2023, and we started recording this podcast, episodes for this podcast, in, I think, June of 2022.
Yep.
And y'all, we were on it.
Yep.
So I guess I just want to, like, mention a little bit about podcasting, and not that we had any expectations. We were both very much just of the mind of, like, let's just start doing something and see what happens.
Right.
And we'll learn as we go. And the path that we took is, like, there was a lot of, like, we were incredibly consistent for a really long time. And then I guess we just, like, sort of lost that consistency a little bit for various outside factors. Like, we both had relationships at one point, and then, like, the holidays came.
Right.
And then we had our own beef.
Our friendship
to work
blew up.
Which was fucking awesome.
It was amazing.
It was so necessary and so healing, and we're still working through it, like, in real time, with so much more awareness and, like, compassion for each other and ourselves.
And it was clearly connected to the podcast. Not like anything to do with the podcast, but it was clearly, like, the podcast was actually facilitating, like, these lessons coming up for us to have to...
The evolution of our friendship.
Right.
Which, like, for anyone that doesn't know this, too, I mean, it seems obvious in retrospect to me now, but it did not occur to me in the beginning that having a podcast with anyone...
Right.
Like, you're going into business with that person.
Right.
So, Maria and I are navigating a 30-something-year-old friendship,
right,
as well as a brand new business relationship,
right,
and there's not even any money involved yet. Which, like, is going to be so fascinating to watch. Like, who knows if that's even going to have an impact. Maybe it won't even do that, but yeah, like, we're trying to, like, I remember one of the conversations that we had at the very beginning of 2023 when our friendship was blowing up. Or no, maybe that was more recently. It doesn't matter. The point is, I remember a conversation of like, how do we make space for the business relationship of the shared project of the podcast without neglecting our friendship, which is its own entity?
That's right.
And like, to be clear, we talk all day, every day still.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think I just want to like make note that I think a lot of podcasters, first of all, there's people that do that on their own. Then there's people that have a shared interest, which gives way to a friendship alongside the shared interest in the podcast. And then there's people, I think, that like have a business together, not necessarily a friendship. But I haven't heard too many that are like, we have been lifelong friends.
Right.
And also successfully and healthfully navigated.
And actually, I'm sure we'll find more of those once we release this. And it will be really interesting to find them because we are doing it without having found them yet. So we don't have that guidance. Right. It's not to say it's not out there per se, but I know what you mean, that it's not yet in our view.
Right.
To like, yeah. So I think that's part of what we want to talk about on the podcast too, is definitely going to also be the process of it and how it was for our friendship and how that all ties into the different conversations we have about personal growth and being present and dealing with our shit and our patterns and our stuff. And that like, also, yeah, I mean, no, go ahead. I was just going to say too, like, you know, I think this is also a nice topic that a lot of us don't talk about enough is friendship. And I know that's becoming more and more prevalent in like psychologically, in psychology, you know, on psychology, like Instagrams and like all those different things that are becoming more prevalent of like, we don't talk enough about friendship relationships. We're always focused on romantic relationships and then secondarily family relationships. But a lot of people don't talk about friendships and, you know, friendship breakups or friendship evolutions and conflict in friendship and how to or not to get through it, etc. And so it was really fun and interesting and so very universally guided that did pop up for us because obviously it was meant to be talked about and explored.
Totally.
And I want to, so I also want to talk about like our process of why we did it the way we did it, which I think is so fun to be able to podcast about it now in retrospect of just like what our approach was, which you touched upon already lightly, but like I want to go back to the fact that we like just started to record.
Yeah,
and so like, sorry?
Take it away.
Yeah. What I was going to say is like, Maria and I leading up to it already had been doing so much, you know, personal growth work, etc. And so much about that is I think, you know, most of us, if not all, deal with self-sabotage, negative voices. And in that regard, negative voices of like, I never get anything done. I never follow through on my projects. I'm so unmotivated. I'm lazy.
It all goes back to, and therefore I'm a piece of shit.
And therefore I'm a piece of shit.
Whether or not you hear those words in your head.
Right. It's still that vibe of I'm a piece of shit, right? And we were really aware of that first, which was really awesome. And we both just realized that like oh my God, also perfectionism, which lives in all of us, whether we're like super hyper perfectionistic, other Maria, or hidden perfectionistic, me, Maria.
Word.
You know, and especially like I think artists around art, you know, it needs to be acknowledged more. The feeling of like thinking it has to be perfect before you release something, or even good.
Yes.
Even good.
Absolutely. I was reading in my roses or red violets.
Oh my gosh.
I made some dumb poetry a couple weeks ago, and one of the lines in one of the poems is literally, "There I wrote something today. Are you happy?"
Roses are red, violets are blue. There, I wrote something. Get off my dick. I think that's what it was.
See, and it made an impression even though it wasn't even good.
That's right. That's right. And so, like, we really were cognizant of, like, if we don't just start trying, it's not going to happen for us, because we're going to try to make it, we're going to try to, like, research podcasting and figure out, quote unquote, how it's done and, like, you know, the right way to do it and what's going to make it the most successful, or what's going to be the most attention grabbing, or, like, what's going to get us the most follows and likes. How do we market it? How do we market it?
Keywords.
How do we monetize it? And all just all the stuff that, it doesn't mean we're not interested in those things, because we are. But
that wasn't the driving force or the intention.
Right. We never would have gotten it off the ground if we hadn't just started to record. And the way we started was just meeting once a week and fucking around. We would pull tarot cards sometimes. We would, you know, brainstorm topics and pick from there. We would go off of something that had happened to us that day that we just wanted to vent about.
Absolutely.
And just talk about it and record it.
Right. Which I think, and maybe we can shove this to the beginning of this episode, but I feel like we haven't really talked about what the intention is. Like, we're talking about how it came about.
What is the intention?
The intention for me is to help people.
Yes.
And I think that's where we're coming from. So, like, we did a fair amount of, not a fair amount, but we did touch upon the space of, like, how do we make this, like, quote unquote successful? Like, there's, like, an 8-episode marker of, like, when podcasts are a success, they've had at least 8 episodes. And, like, almost nobody gets to that point. And, like, here are the things you can do to monetize it, like you just said. But I think we didn't give that too much time and attention, because it was like, that's not the point for us.
Right.
The point goes back to during the pandemic, I think we both largely felt alone in a lot of the things that we were able to be authentic about.
Right.
And we knew we weren't alone.
Right.
But we didn't know how to find that community. And we're still finding that community.
Right.
But I think the intention is to help people not feel alone in whatever it is that you're going through. Mm-hmm. To help people feel supported. Mm-hmm. To help people feel safe in vulnerability. To help people know that they're not the only ones that are a hot mess, because we for sure are, or the only ones that have had, like, real crazy life experiences, or, like, shameful events, or just, you know, have acted like a complete douchebag and regretted it. They're not the only ones that get hung up on semantics.
Which we do.
I do.
Okay, Maria does. We will come to learn on future episodes.
Yeah, I think we just, like, want to help people and, like, broaden conversations. And I think also something that came up as we were preparing for today is, like, we've both had a lot of therapy.
Correct.
For different reasons, and just for the fuck of it, because, like, everyone should have therapy, if you ask me, because it's fucking helpful.
Right. At some point, for some amount of time.
It's a helpful fucking tool that means nothing beyond, I would like to improve myself and my experience.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
Doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. But through that, we have a lot of tools for being vulnerable and being authentic and
striving to stay present.
I would say, yeah. Being present with things and not being as reactive as we once were. And just, like, generally being positive as fuck.
That's right. Without, like, I have been accused of toxic positivity.
Which blows my mind.
That was one time. No, let's not lean into that. But
it was just that one guy at the bus stop.
Guy at bus stop. Stop. No, but and I think that's also right, like the way that we're able to come back to positivity. It's a regular practice. It is not that we're just constantly like everything's fucking amazing and there are no problems. What? Absolutely not.
There are a lot of problems.
There are a lot of problems.
But being able to be present with that and not hopeless.
Yes, and how to constantly come back to hope.
Constantly come back to hope, general optimism.
Love.
Fucking love.
Truly. Love for... I think both of us just have a lot of love for humanity.
Oh, fine.
I see. Okay, I know you do too. But I have a lot of spoken outwardly love for humanity, which annoys the fuck out of people. I annoy the fuck out of me. I annoy the shit out of people.
I know.
It's hilarious.
And I am reluctantly in the same boat with you because I do too. I just hate to admit it.
No, right. That's right. Which is, very still different from a lot of people who really genuinely like
people suck.
Regularly say people suck. I hate humanity. I hate everyone. Humanity sucks. And I just don't subscribe to that, but whatever. I get it. I fully fucking get it. Humans suck.
Unsubscribe.
It's not like we don't suck. I just love everybody.
Right.
I just love humans a lot.
I love how much you suck.
I love how much you suck. Like me. Like whatever. I would also like to share something vulnerable that you already know about. In the conversation around our intentions with this podcast, I also had some pretty selfish intentions with it too. To work through my shit.
Yeah.
Especially around thinking I'm annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have that. Yeah, I mean, I think... What? No, go ahead.
Because you suffered a barrage of such comments throughout your entire childhood and adolescence.
True. That's very true. Right. I was often told I was annoying, and I talked too much, and I talked too loud, and I talked too fast. Constantly was told that for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Though it was grade school, it wasn't high school.
And now you will be listening to your self-talk.
Right. I mean, and that's the part. It's not like my voice, but it's my general being.
Because you're a piece of shit.
Because I am a piece of shit that no one will like. No, and it's funny because it is like, and anyway, that's part of what I wanted to share too, because I think this is stuff we work through on the podcast, is talking about our shit and figuring out where it comes from and what the negative voices in our heads that we know aren't true, but what are they telling us? And I know that part of me working through it is also releasing myself out to the public.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the main goal always in my life is to help people. And I want others to help me. Like, to help one another.
Right.
Through healing. Yeah, through the community. And so part of my reasons for doing the podcast as well was bravery.
Yeah, visibility.
Visibility. And of feeling through the very uncomfortable feelings I'm going to have when it gets released. 100%. Like, yeah. And I'm not really that in that feeling yet. I know it's gonna come.
Yeah.
And I have it a lot now we finally started editing, and we didn't start editing till about a month ago, and just the amount of discomfort listening to myself talk. And it's not the thing we used to have back in the day with like literal cassette recorders when your like voice sounded different to you.
Correct.
Because it doesn't really do that anymore.
It
like
doesn't.
My voice doesn't sound different to me on recordings. I just find myself annoying. I'm like,
which is so
could you slow down? Could you be quieter? Could you not talk that way? Could you not
be you?
Be me? Could you not like backtrack on what you're saying? Could you not preface so much?
Could you finish a goddamn
Could you finish a motherfucking thought? Could you not be so fucking tangential, Like, And then I talk to my friends, and like my friends are like, we don't find you annoying. And I'm just like, you're lying.
Wow.
I'm like, how are you not finding this wildly annoying?
Right.
And it's funny because, like, okay, my positivity about humanity annoys the shit out of people, and I think that's funny. It does not bother me that people get annoyed by that.
Right.
But also, the people I care about the most don't find me annoying in the ways I find myself annoying when I listen back, and yet I'm telling myself I'm annoying. So like, you're not telling me I'm annoying, and I'm like, no, I'm annoying. And then you go, I'm like, I love humanity, and you're like, that's so annoying, and I'm like, that's cute. You think it's annoying? Like, I don't care.
That is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Your inner critic is working overtime on
Alive
that.
and well.
Well, because I think, what's so interesting about that, though, is that, like, I feel like that's because your love of humanity, and if people find that annoying, you don't care because it almost has nothing to do with, like the size or shape or impact of you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, if your inner critic can knock you down and be like, you're annoying, everyone's lying to you, and they say that you're not annoying, like, maybe I can crush this podcast or any other way in which you were going to be creatively visible and keep you small.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Because
self-sabotage.
There we go again. Yep.
Right.
Self-sabotage. But also, I want to highlight what's been really fun about this like, we had trouble. First, we had, like, technical trouble editing because we chose a platform at first that we didn't realize didn't lend itself very well to that. So when we switched and we got to edit, and the times that we've sat together and edited, like, we're gonna have to have a Be Real, y'all, because it is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the funny conversations that have come out of editing have been hilarious. Also, at some point, we'll have video.
Absolutely. And that's what's been really challenging, too, to watch my fucking negative voices tell me I'm annoying. I get it's very self-involved when you listen to the negative voices.
Oh, yes.
Right? It's so self-indulgent. And so, like, a lot of times I'm listening and I don't even know that I can find it as funny. And the amount of times that you'll text me and be like, I just listened to us and Maria, we are so funny. And I'm like, are we? Like, like,
so funny.
Yeah, no. And, we think we're funny, which is all that matters. Like, that's the point. Like, yeah, I think you're hilarious. And thankfully you think I'm hilarious because you are. Right. No, I'm funny too. And
Are you okay? No, but I'm funny.
But I am funny. Right. And so it's, like, so fascinating that my inner critic bullshit gets in the way of me being able to enjoy it, which I know will come with time. And that's why I'm so excited to release it, to, like, just fucking let that go. Also, Maria cannot sit still. I cannot wait for video. Like, it's the amount of movement going on right now. We're both sitting on the floor, and she is just
out of control.
You cannot. And also, Maria's extremely flexible, so she can just do these, like, pretzel moves and crazy shit, and just is constantly moving. It's amazing.
I can't stop fidgeting.
I love it. I love it. It's so visually pleasing.
And that's where I will become self-critical.
Right. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Just kidding. Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Just kidding.
I know. All right.
I say like a lot.
Yeah, whatever.
That's how I talk. It's also how I text.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We do text like we talk, both of us.
This is who I am.
This is who I am. Right. Gotta own it. But I think in that, I just wanted to bring that up because it also felt self-indulgent to bring it up, because it feels like, oh, you want to do this podcast for yourself. And, like, you're being all like, oh, we want to help people. And I'm like, actually, it's for me. But no, that's not what I mean. And I know you know that. But, like, I think part of it is the whole, like, helping ourselves in order to help others.
Yeah, I mean, it's multifaceted.
Right.
I mean, I just keep going back to, because that's the thing that seems loudest for me.
Right.
And the thing that seems most inspiring and like gives me the most hope. Like at points in time when I was just like, is this actually going to happen? I'm just like, well, yeah, because it's meant for the greater good.
Absolutely.
But also,
Mm-hmm.
opposite of you, I'm a fucking attention whore. Like, I love like being on stage and shit.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
So this is fun for me.
Right.
And I think my challenge within that, where the criticism can come in, is like, I mean, just like really being fucking authentic and not censoring myself and not putting on an act.
Good point.
Which I haven't.
No, at all.
But
yeah.
That's interesting.
No, but that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. Because I do think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but like in a broader sense, that's not my issue. I have no problem talking about literally anything. And I know you don't either. I just mean that you still have sometimes internal struggles with it or more questions about it or are more aware of what you may or may not share.
Right, because generally speaking, my instinct is just to be a lot more private.
Right.
Than anything else, but that in turn leaves a lot of space for me to curate the me that is being presented.
Right.
Which is not to say that it's not authentic.
No.
But just to say that it's more there's more space for it to be calculated.
Right.
Which I want to do less of.
Totally.
Because I really fucking value my privacy
Mm-hmm.
within my relationships in the world. I'm like hardly on social media. I don't share a lot of things if it doesn't feel necessary. But at the same time, it would be back to the help thing. Because we're like so noble. Making fun of ourselves. Making fun of us. No, I think I'm like coming into a space now of like everyone has value, everyone has things to offer, and there is a cross section of stuff that like while I might ideally instinctively want to keep it private, it can serve a greater good if I can be more candid about it.
Yeah. Totally.
And that's going to be uncomfortable.
Soups uncomfortable. I mean, for me too, like I say it as though it's going to be no problem. It's more that I can just do it without even thinking about the fact that we're recording, but it'll be a whole new world once we put it out, because it's going to be like, oh my God, everyone's going to hear the shit I was saying.
Oh
yeah.
My God.
Oh my goodness.
Becky.
Look at her butt.
Her butt.
Yeah, no, fascinating.
So that's how we got here. We're going to be authentic and uncomfortable and maybe controversial.
Certainly controversial.
Fucking hilarious. Probably awkward.
Definitely awkward.
This is awkward.
This is awkward, right? Yeah, I'm so aware too of like my energy within each episode.
Right. Sometimes there's like a baller vibe.
Right.
And then sometimes there's not.
I don't agree with that statement.
Okay.
But no, it's true. I mean, like sometimes I'm just so like excited and exuberant and loud and fast talking and like, oh my God. And like other times I'm not. And I have actually gotten in my head about that with releasing some of the old content we have.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, is that how I want to come off at first? It's like really interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've had that thought at all.
No, of course you haven't. But also you're way more consistent than I am. But I don't think you would have that thought process anyways, because these are just our differences in the ways we beat ourselves up.
Yes.
Yes.
I wish there was a way to like extract my inner critic and yours and have them just like gladiator style kill each other.
Maria like gestured to the ground, and I just imagined our inner critics literally gladiator style in an arena, a little baby arena on the ground in front of us.
Mission accomplished. That's exactly what I intended.
Well, that's what we are doing.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, right.
This is Sparta. I've been telling you for years.
Something Maria does enjoy saying a lot. This is Sparta.
It's true.
Okay. But yeah, so like with this podcast, I think also we'd like to just like introduce you to us a little bit more and just sort of just so you guys can know who we are a little bit more too, who you're listening to. So a little bit about me, Maria, is, yeah, so born and raised in Chicago. Spent many years in Boston and then a little bit in New York and then back to Chicago. Went to college for music in Boston. And I've been a singer my whole life, like since I was 8. But I'm terrified of it and nobody ever hears me sing, and that's a big thing I need to work through. And I currently work at a restaurant or an event space, and I've been in restaurants for several years now. That has been my income. Also, family-wise, there's a lot to know. I had a lot of weird stuff go down in my family growing up.
Shit went down.
I don't know if I should just tell people. I have no idea. When I was a kid, so I have a brother and a sister and my parents had me later. So my sister and brother are 12 and 14 years older than me. And when I was 7, my brother was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And when I was 14, he killed my dad. Very tragic. So there's that part of my story. And then 3 years ago, my sister died of alcoholism. So there has been a lot of shit go down in my family, as Maria said. But I will say a big part of who I am now I think it started from a young age as well, nothing to do with that stuff. My dad was a death penalty defense attorney and my mom was a teacher, and I grew up in a house that was like centered around forgiveness and compassion and understanding. So there's a lot of juicy stuff there that I've gone through of like not living in a place of like extreme anger or anything like that. It's just been a lot of like definite challenge and hardship and pain and sadness and stuff, but also a lot of love. Like my family, we all love each other very much. It's never been about, nobody's mad at my brother in like a long-term sense at all. And you know, with my sister, there's addiction there that was like really painful and difficult and a lot of pain through death and stuff like that. But also just like she was one of the most loving people ever. And so like, you know, there's just a lot of love. So that's part of the big part of my story and who I am and what I bring to the podcast, or, you know, just my experience in life. And it's obviously not all of it, but it's a big story. It's a big part of it. And I'm happy to share that with the podcast and like talk to everybody about it, because I know also there's a lot there of like people have gone through things that like I've gone through, and I haven't found those people yet either, and I'm excited to find them through the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, because I am certainly not the only one. Although, you know, it's a jarring story, and so a lot of people are just like, you're the only one I know, and I'm just like, yeah, I kind of am the only one I know too, but I know I'm not the only one. So it's like,
absolutely
right. So that's certainly, I'm excited about sharing that stuff and bringing that's where I really want to help people, is really, really bring support to people who've been through similar situations, because it is unique and weird and wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. Your turn.
My turn. Shit. I'm the other Maria. And yeah, I guess I've had a lot of Not by any stretch unique, but I've had a lot of fucked up experiences in my life too. A lot of that was at my own hand. I am in recovery from a great many things. Addictions, disorders, etc., etc. I have a deeply spiritual life now that keeps me more or less sane. I can't wait till there's video for this podcast. ADHD is not a thing I have recovered from, but we have gotten it to a manageable space. Yeah, I mean, I think just my the sense of humor that has come from all of my experiences, my extended family, which, you know, on both sides, as every family that I have known about, like there's a large degree of dysfunction in various ways. But I think that my parents, so it's my parents, my brother, and I, and we have a great sense of humor about a lot of it, which I think lends itself really well to the way that I just the ability to navigate my life. Like I do it a lot with like a sense of humor. And play and just being ridiculous and silly and making fun of myself and other people when available. But yeah, I am a writer. I am a dancer. Or was a dancer. I am still a dancer.
Still a dancer.
Just haven't really danced that much recently. That's what my degree was in. Never used it. It was too busy.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So if anyone's out there got a degree in anything and don't use it, us too. I'm also a photographer, flower lover, shit ton of like fitness stuff, yoga, gym. Yes. I have an array of musical interests that collide with each other. Cause confusion or indecision, paralysis. What else? I feel like I'm missing some big chunks.
You've covered a lot. I got jealous. I was like, I also like tarot and aliens and spiritual growth. I'm just kidding.
We're both cat moms.
And cooking.
Did we say that?
We're both cat moms.
Oh, you are a fucking phenomenal cook.
Thank you so much.
And I'm jealous of that. I just have like hordes on my Pinterest board of recipes.
Oh my God, you need to send them to me.
I'm a recipe hoarder.
I love recipe hoarders because I'm not.
Yeah.
I need people to give me recipes to cook.
See, y'all, look at us growing already.
Look at us. Complimenting the shit out of each other. But yeah, no. I mean, so many interests and etc.
You know what else would be fun? A little compare and contrast.
Sure.
You are the cook.
Yes.
I am the cleaner. You are the professor.
I'm the professor. That's what I was gonna say. I am the professor.
You are the extrovert. I am the introvert.
Yes.
I'm the more private one. You're the more. I don't know what the.
Not private one.
Not private one, I guess. I don't know. I'm the reader. You're the watcher.
Yes.
How we ingest media.
Absolutely.
I'm an auditory
learner. Or like the
learner.
listener.
She's a visual
learner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maria loves I don't listen to podcasts, which is hilarious that I'm doing one. But it's not true I don't listen to them. I've realized now I watch them on YouTube. And I'm still not all the way there, but more now. Because I'm like, I can go watch them on YouTube.
Right.
So it's funny this is going to come out without visual at first. Because for me, I prefer a video.
You would never listen to our podcast.
I would never listen to our podcast. Ever.
Yeah.
Never. I would watch it. And we will have video.
Yeah. She's an Aries. I'm an Aquarius.
Ooh, yeah. Tell them your sun, moon, and rising.
Aquarius, sun, Sag, moon, Leo, rising.
Correct.
North node is in Taurus.
Correct. I am an Aries sun, Taurus moon, Gemini rising, Aries North Node. Wild. We both love astrology.
Yep.
And that's like a newer found love for both of us.
Within the last 4
since
or 5
the pandemic.
years.
Well, yeah, maybe longer for you, not for me. I've always thought it was interesting, and it's been on my radar since college, but I didn't get into it till. I mean, the pandemic did all of it for me. Maybe right before it. Tarot started right before the pandemic, but barely.
Yeah.
But the pandemic for me was what gave me all the time to fucking dive down the deep rabbit hole.
The deep hole.
Yeah. Crystals.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of crystals.
We love crystals, but Maria really loves crystals. But I haven't heard you talk about crystals in a long time. Maybe you're off the crystals.
No, they've just been talking about me.
Got it. Copy. Those gossipy bitches. Yeah. I'm the codependent.
I'm the addict.
Yeah, you're the addict. I'm the codependent. You're the tall one. I'm the short one.
You're like not short and I'm not that tall.
But next to each other, you're considerably taller than me.
So when y'all see a picture of us,
oh yeah,
I'm the taller one.
Now maybe people will start calling us Tall Maria and Short Maria.
Guys, don't do that.
Maria doesn't want us to be differentiated, but doesn't know how to differentiate us.
No, I don't want to tell you guys how to differentiate us. I want y'all to come to it on your own.
Okay, fine.
I feel like there's some creative bitches on the internet that are going to come up with something like fly as hell
That's
that we've
true.
never thought of.
No, that's very true.
And I want to let that happen.
That's right. Okay.
Should we get silly and pull some cards?
Oh my god, totally.
Okay.
Like what? From your game or like
Yeah.
Sure.
Or we can do both.
I don't care.
Okay, let's get silly.
Okay, so this is where we're gonna get silly. Because Maria has this really fun game
I
called
don't even
the
think
five.
we need to explain it.
Okay, fine. It's called the 5-second rule. I won't explain it.
Things you shouldn't do over Skype/FaceTime.
Okay. Get naked.
Poop.
Jesus Christ. Okay, absolutely not. Yeah.
Both of these are upsetting too because I don't like pants, and those are both things you do.
True that. And oh god.
Commit a crime.
Great. Okay.
Phobias or fears.
Oh, we're naming 3, by the way. Name 3 phobias or fears. Arachnophobia.
Jeff Daniels, call us.
Oh my gosh. Great reference. Okay, arachnophobia, germophobia.
I don't think you have to say
I know.
Okay.
Can I just live? I knew that. I was about to switch it up. It was what was coming to my mind.
Germophobia, great.
And
Heard.
Ladders.
Did I fuck it up?
Yes, I'm sure there are people who are scared of ladders, and I bet you there's a phobia word for it.
Probably.
I'm gonna look it up.
Do it. I was gonna say ventriloquist dolls.
That's a good one.
Public speaking.
Fear
Death.
of lists. Ooh, death. That's a good one. I'm sorry, I laughed because I found fear of ladders. Climacophobia.
That sounds like something your gremlin came up with.
Climacophobia.
Climacophobia.
I love this too because right away it says, believe it or not, this fear actually has a name. I'm sorry. There is a name for every fear.
Absolutely, I believe that.
What did you say? What was your first one? Fear of...
Ventriloquist dummies.
Damn it. That might not have one. Fear of ventriloquist. Oh, shoot. I can't spell ventriloquist. Oh, but it had it. Oh. Automatonophobia
I have
is a fear of human-like figures such as mannequins, wax figures, statues, dummies, animatronics, or robots.
Okay, I don't have any of those, but for sure the ventriloquist dummy one.
Automatonophobia. Really, you do? Okay. Terrifying?
Terrifying.
Wow.
And clowns. I'm legit terrified
You
of clowns.
are? I did not know that.
Okay.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me that. Just kidding.
When I was maybe 18 months old, my parents took me to a carnival and
I did know this. No, tell me.
I'd never seen a clown before.
Mm-mm.
And someone dressed up as a clown was coming towards us in the crowd. And, like, my dad was holding me, like, on his side, like in his arms. And I saw the clown. And with terror in my eyes, I, like, climbed my dad's head. I was so scared.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I don't...
So, this was from early on.
I was born with this one.
Yeah, wow. Interesting. Okay.
And still not
down with the clown.
Not
Copy.
down with the clown.
All right.
Things it's best not to rush into.
Relationships.
Costco when they open. You won't get in.
Costco when they open.
Go at 10:30. If you go at 10 a.m., you're just going to be standing in line with the rest of the other
Interesting.
guys.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. And escalators.
That's a great one.
Thank you. I was actually thinking of
Take
those
your
moving
time.
walkways.
Yes!
More, but then escalator came out because it was easy. Yeah.
Airport moving walkways. Do not rush.
Don't rush into them.
Take your time.
Yep.
Or off them.
Or off them. Yeah.
But do concentrate. Take a beat. Pause your conversation. 3 people you never want to see naked. Mom, dad, brother.
Ooh, yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That does extend to the rest of my blood relatives, though.
Absolutely. I don't know why I wanted to be like my priest, and I'm not even. I don't go to church anymore. No, I didn't even mean it that way. I did not. Oh God. All right. Okay. What? Yeah. Right. My ex-Catholicism is showing. No.
My religious trauma is showing.
That's what I wanted to say. My religious trauma.
Things to take on a first date.
Money.
A condom.
Oh, a condom.
Mace.
Jesus Christ. It's so dark.
If things go well, if they don't.
It's so dark, but so true. So true. So true. I don't fuck with the mace. Freaks me out.
Okay.
I really will just die if someone tries to kill me. Like, I can't defend. I can't imagine, like, hurting a person. Not, like, because I'm so I just, like, I know we are opposites on this. Oh, I know we are you will kill someone. Like, you will kill someone.
Meanwhile, I'm, like, looking for opportunities.
Yes. No, 100%. You want to be a murderer. Like, not actually, but, like.
How do you know I'm not already?
She loves these jokes. She loves these jokes. But, like, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's like, in a sense, it's bad. I'm like, oh my goodness. I would not survive an attack.
I
don't know that that's, like, totally true.
I hope you're wrong.
No, yeah, I know my adrenaline would kick in and things would kick in. This is getting morbid, but I really, like, yeah, I don't carry mace. I don't have any, like, weaponry, like, protection tools.
I know.
Yeah. People have given me mace. I gave it away.
The fuck, bro? Oh my god.
This is a segment where my 20-year-old cat has woken up and may or may not meow. So everyone meet Spot.
Spotty too hottie.
Spotty with the body.
She's the miniature panther.
She is a miniature panther.
I have my own miniature jungle cat at my home.
That's right. Maisie Bird.
Maisie Jane.
Maisie Jane. Yeah.
Maisie Petra.
Petra? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. Depending on how she's behaving. Anyway, we're both cat moms.
That's right.
Dirty movies? Joe Dirt.
That's like one of Maria's favorite movies from back in the day. Dirty movies, Joe Dirt. You fucking... That's amazing. I actually immediately thought of Wild Things.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Spot.
That Spot.
Porn.
The
dirty movies, the porn.
The porn. Okay. This one says name 3 cougars, and I was thinking of jungle cats.
Well, so was I. Honestly, I was like, there's different types of cougars? Well, I should know about that.
Me too.
No.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
No.
I get feelings about that term.
Me too.
Because it puts it into like a predatory.
Yeah. Yep.
Why?
Because we're women. Because women.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah,
Which
but,
is
like,
so fucked up.
Totally.
Places you shouldn't drink. A trapeze.
That was good. While skydiving.
Pole dancing.
Ooh. It's a good one.
Things you pay for by the hour. Massages. Tax help.
Sex phone.
Y'all.
Also, like, hashtag elder millennial.
Y'all,
Yeah.
she said that with the straightest face.
I did. Sex phone. I don't even know what that means. Like, it was not even, like, the phrase for it.
Yeah,
But
the sex hotline.
that's really more like for them by the minute.
By the minute.
Yeah, I mean by the
well, if it
hour.
was any good.
Right.
Talk to Natasha.
Talk to Natasha. Shut up. Amazing.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and most importantly, share. This episode was hosted by Maria and Maria. Theme music composed and performed by Maria. Logo design by Maria. Recorded and produced by Maria. Snacks provided by Maria. Moral support provided to Maria by Maria.